Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Podcast, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's get a look at some stocks on the move today. We're joined now by Bloomberg's Lisa Mateo. Lisa, you're looking at Apple.
Yeah, we are, because it ended the day down about 9% yesterday, erased about $311 billion in market value, the worst single day decline since March 16th, 2020. So that was during the pandemic. This morning, shares have been down about 3%. We all know from the story yesterday, the supply chain relies heavily on China, right? New tariffs will reach 34% for China. But the thing is, it's not just China. Apple also relies on other nations that are affected by tariffs, including India, Vietnam, Malaysia, Thailand, Ireland. And then it's not just Apple, too. I mean, Dell Technologies, they sank 19% yesterday. Those shares have been down as much as 6% this morning. So it just goes to show you that it's still on the downfall.
Yeah, the SOX index, for example, talking about, say, semis in particular, on a weekly basis, it's fell the most since 2020, lowest levels in November 2023. I think that comparison is going to reign for a little bit. Also, let's look at Nike. Talk about a stock that got really hurt yesterday. Where are we today?
Yeah, most definitely. But what's wild about this is that during President Trump's first term, apparel footwear makers, right, they shifted their manufacturing out of China to avoid tariffs. And now they're being hit anyway because Trump is targeting the same nations that they decided to move to. So nations like Vietnam facing a tariff of 46%. So Nike, as we know, ended the day off down more than 14% yesterday. This morning, down as much as about 5%. And it wasn't just Nike. We had Adidas, Lululemon, too. What I found interesting, though, is that how much is produced here in the U.S. So analysts from Jefferies, they estimate that only 2.5% of the U.S. apparel market and 1% of the footwear market are made domestically. Vietnam actually exported $44 billion in textiles last year, with the U.S. as actually its largest market.
Wow, there's just no getting around those numbers.
No, there's not.
Okay.
No, like those are real solid numbers. And then let's wrap it up here with some of the automakers. They had already been getting hit,
of course,
to some extent. Then the tariffs went into effect yesterday. What about Stellantis?
Okay, so they closed down more than 9% yesterday. This morning, off as much as 5%, but they're also dealing with a few other things, kind of this trickle-down effect. So the news came out that about 6,000 workers in Canada's auto sector received temporary layoff notices. That's according to their largest union. The majority of them, they work at Stellantis plant in Ontario. That makes Chrysler Dodge vehicles. They're going to pause production for 2 weeks starting on Monday. Then on top of that, Stellantis received a downgrade by Fitch due to tariffs. And now what they're doing is they're trying to spark sales. So we heard a similar story from Ford, but the Wall Street Journal reporting that Stellantis, now they want to extend that employee discount program to other car buyers and on most of their new models. So we're talking about being effective today, and it's about the cheap Wrangler SUV, the Ram light duty pickup trucks as well. So they might be getting those. They're trying to just get more people in, to buy the thing. So that's why they're giving out those employee discount programs to just everyday shoppers.
The Stock Movers Podcast from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.